as I presumed. Nikola Tesla is not dead. Maybe they missed him physically? But the truth he believed in, and because of it, they accused him of insanity and then assassinated him to hide it. She returned to the front. His mind came back and things began to unravel. And it seems to be true. Beyond these pyramids, or rather beneath these pyramids, is deeper, much deeper than we know, or so to speak, than they have known us to be. The event is big and explosive. All scientists mobilize for it. What is the story? Did someone say something they shouldn't? What is the secret of these pyramids? This strange construction? What is the truth of why they built it? Is it really a solitary building as it is the tomb of the pharaohs as they promoted it? Or is it a visible part of a hidden world? His features are starting to show. Fictional fleets began to become the reality of this press conference, and that research paper tipped all the scales and opened the door to all possibilities. I don't know anymore. Have we really found the city of Iram? Or have we discovered the legendary corridor of spirits and fantasy become reality? Or was the advanced civilization of Atlantis actually here? Is the pyramid construction story more mysterious and intricate than believed? But what I did know was that Nikola Tesla was not dead. Today he lived again with his theory of energy transfer and his 3 numbers. He came back to our world and strong. Peace and respect. My dear friends, good luck and have a good time, and welcome to this chat. I am Hassan Hashem. I return to you after an absence with controversial research. You must know it, and I can only continue with you. I sent this video to everyone you know, and they exploded likes as a favor and not as an order for us to return to the right track. Strong Arab content is returning to the forefront again. Recently, my friends, a topic has emerged that has caused great confusion in scientific and historical circles. Both, why not? It's about the pyramids? Hypotheses, theories, and opinions have emerged that oppose and support any theory or topic that is proposed. This is not the first time that the pyramids have been exposed to conspiracy theories and forgery, and it is not the first time that Egyptian scientists, including them, have confronted attempts to distort history. This is according to their opinion. Let us remember them together. We start from the topic of Ben the pyramids. We will find dozens of theories and hypotheses that try in various ways. He denied that the Egyptians were the ones who built these wonders. So the writer Archivon Duncan came up with the hypothesis that aliens were the ones who built these huge facilities. According to what was stated in his famous book Unsolved Mysteries of the Past A, published in 1968, and this theory began to circulate, just like the hypothesis that the inhabitants of Atlantis, the lost city with advanced technology, were the ones who built these pyramids and Atlantis as it is known. Basically, a city that lies between reality and fantasy, and we discussed its topic in detail in one of the episodes of the Mystery Program, or as some pioneers of conspiracy theory, such as Zachariah Sitchin, David Icke, the author of the theory of human reptiles, Georgios Tsoukalos, and others claimed that the construction of the pyramids could not have been done by the hands of the Egyptians, ancient but an unknown civilization or advanced civilizations who built these towering edifices using technological techniques. Advanced, and even we in this time could not match it, and then the pharaohs attributed it to themselves. This is in their opinion, and these are their theories. Of course, most of the scholars, whether Western or Egyptian, denied this issue in whole and in detail, and especially the Egyptian scholars, who in turn confirmed that the pyramids were built with the hands of the ancient Egyptians, exclusively and using tools made by these people. It is not known to us at the present time. The matter did not stop at who built the pyramids or how they were built, but rather the matter came to the reason for the construction. So strange theories emerged to explain the reason for the construction, one of which was supported by one of the most prominent scientists of humanity ever. Remember this point well. You will know who I am talking about in the context of the episode. We start with the theory that the pyramids served as a model for the construction of Noah's Ark. The idea came out with the discovery of manuscripts near the Dead Sea, telling the story of the prophet Noah, peace be upon him, and among what was found was the ribs of a pyramid-shaped coffin. This theory emerged, which went further than this, by making the prophet Noah a pharaoh, or if the saying is true, one of the kings of ancient Egypt. Strange, right? Also, the aliens reappear in this section by having the pyramids as landing bases for their vehicles, specifically the concave part at the top of the pyramids. Remember my Illuminati friends? Or the Illuminati, that dangerous secret group which, according to the theory about it, controls the whole world. The pyramids are the center of this group and the hiding place of its wealth. Why? Simply because the symbol of this group, as known as the eye inside the pyramid, what is better than the pyramids of Egypt? To take the lead here, author and conspiracy theorist David Mead has put forward a bizarre theory. The world was supposed to end in September 2017. This is what he found after they thought about bananas and codes discovered in his pyramid of fear. That is, his pyramid of fear announced the end of the world by the collision of an unknown planet with Earth. Of course, these theories have not received any scientific support as they are completely illogical and unrealistic. But a theory also emerges as if it came out of a science fiction movie, and its main supporter and even its promoter is one of the most prominent scientists of humanity ever and the most controversial of them. Here you must maintain all your focus. The hero here is undisputed. He is the most prominent, most famous and controversial scientist. Nikola Tesla. Yes, as you've heard, Nikola Tesla. This inimitable scientist also entered the field of conspiracy theories related to the pyramids, specifically in the two categories of the reason for their creation. The story began in the late 19th century when the world's interest in the pyramids began to be amused, specifically in terms of being stations for transmitting energy wirelessly. In 1905, Tesla registered a patent entitled The Art of Transferring Electrical Energy Through the Natural Medium. This proposal was based on the design of generators utilizing the insphere to collect energy. Tesla believed. He saw the Earth itself with its poles as a huge generator of free and unlimited energy. This design was named Tesla's electromagnetic pyramid of the world. In his theory, this was based on the idea that the pyramids, because of their shape and location, may have the ability to concentrate or transfer energy. Geographically, it lies on a line. The exact shape of the pyramid may indicate a scientific purpose in its construction. As for the shape of the pyramid, Tesla suggested that it had the ability to concentrate energy, which he would later apply. Materials used in construction such as limestone and granite fall between materials that carry conductive or insulating properties. To this end, Tesla in the 1930s put the matter into practice, building a miniature pyramid of paper and wire and projecting it to a bundle of charged molecules. And for the surprise, the pyramid began to glow, although it was not exposed to any source of energy. Yes, believe me, he was immediately amused by his remarks. The pyramid attracts energy from the Earth's magnetic field. Here, Tesla began to believe, even assert, that it was possible to use the pyramids for the purpose of harnessing and enhancing natural energy sources such as the sun and the Earth's magnetic field. Tesla and Don believed in his observations that by building a huge pyramid in the right location of electrically conductive materials such as copper, it was possible to produce free and unlimited energy, which of course Tesla heated his life for. Well, my friends, do you remember what we mentioned in the Tesla episode and what followed in a chat episode on the subject of numbers 369? Yes, as you guessed, there is a close connection between Tesla's theory about the pyramids and his famous theory, or rather, his fixation on these numbers. Simply put, he believed that the pyramids were designed and built in a way that reflected mathematical and engineering principles directly related to the numbers 36 and 9, which reinforced the idea that either pyramids were used as generators or power stations. According to Tesla's theory, these numbers represent energy, frequency, and vibration. But was Tesla alone in this regard? Both other scientists joined this theory, although no direct statement was issued by Tesla that the pyramids of Giza in particular were generators of cosmic energy, but his studies and interest in the pyramid form and its characteristics led many to link his studies with the Egyptian pyramids, and some of them even used this idea and Tesla's observations and worked to develop them. How? For example, we find the Czech engineer Carl. In 1959, he obtained a patent for his pyramid-shaped device that sharpens razor blades, believing that the pyramid shape could maintain the sharpness of blades by concentrating energy. In 1973, Edward Kunkel published his book Pharaoh's Pump or Pharaoh's Pump. In this book, Kunkel suggested that the Great Pyramid acted as a hydraulic pump that used water pressure to generate pulses. Vibrationism. Mechanical engineer Christopher Dunn suggested in his 1998 book The Giza Power Plant that the Great Pyramid acted as an energy and hydrogen amplifier. It is generated in the Queen's Room, as he called it, and travels through the corridors to generate electrical energy through vibrations. That is, the Great Pyramid. It was not just a royal tomb, but a complex power generation device based on harmonic resonance to convert vibrations into usable energy, in what Christopher Dunn considered evidence of the use of advanced and prehistoric technology in those bygone ages. Like any theory that deviates from the conventional purpose of building the pyramids as royal tombs, these theories have received severe criticism from various Arab and foreign scholars alike, such as Dr. Zahi, Dr. Salim Hassan, Dr. Mark Lehner, Dr. Peter James, and many others. There is no clear geometric evidence that the pyramids were used as generators or even energy carriers, and most archaeologists have interpreted the construction of the pyramids for religious and artistic purposes according to discoveries related to ancient Egyptian culture. Things and scientific controversy have calmed down somewhat for a relatively long time. Until today, the 15th of last March, came, the day on which a conference was held that shook humanity, reshuffled the cards and minds, and drew the attention of the entire world to the pyramids of Egypt. And here, listen carefully in this conference. The curtain came down on the latest hypotheses and theories that sparked a crisis in scientific circles, especially those related to the study of Egyptian antiquities, which is the study or theory that was published in a scientific paper, and they announced it in this press conference. A foreign research team announced in the conference about the discovery of what they called a huge underground city that is conclusively their claim. Larger than the pyramids themselves, as if they said what you, human beings, imagined about these pyramids over the past decades, and you thought it was an imaginary fantasy. We came to prove it to you. It's scientifically really terrifying, isn't it? Let's stop here for a moment. Do you think this is the first time that the discovery of traces under the pyramids has been announced? No, my friends. A lot of archaeological excavations have proven the presence of columns and some structures and monuments. But this particular announcement caused quite a stir, and you will find out why later. But let me first prove to you that this is not the first time that this announcement was preceded by other previous discoveries, perhaps. Close her file. Let's start with some previous archaeological discoveries. We go back to 1837 with the announcement of the British engineer Richard William Howard face of the discovery of a chamber below ground level carved directly into the natural rock under the base of the Great Pyramid. That is, his fear escaped the room's incomplete design containing undecorated corridors and unpolished walls, meaning that it may have been part of a preliminary project and then it was not completed. While the pyramid was cleared, the reason for the construction of this room to this day has not yet been decided. According to archaeologists, it may have been an initial burial chamber or part of a design for a miniature temple. We move to the year 1933 with the initial discovery of the famous Well of Osiris by archaeologist Salim Hassan in 1999. Dr. Zahi Hawass, a renowned archaeologist, led a thorough excavation at the site of the initial discovery to unveil the veil about this well, which was linked, according to studies, to ancient Egyptian myths, specifically to the god Osiris. Yes, they read the ancient legend and found this well consisting of 3 levels underground, containing rooms, basements, and a huge granite abutment placed on the 3rd level. According to studies, it is a symbolic representation of the tomb of the god and Zoros. In 2022, a secret corridor was revealed that leads directly to an underground complex inside one of the other pyramids spread in the Dahshur area. This complex was, according to studies and according to what was excavated, dedicated to funerary rituals during the era of the 4th dynasty. We return to Khufu, the Great Pyramid, and this time in the year 2023, the Brems Housing Project team announced the discovery of a secret corridor with 9 lanes 2 meters wide above the main entrance to the Great Pyramid using cosmic ray imaging technology, or what it is known as. It is believed that its purpose is to link other rooms or burials that have not yet been revealed, rooms, corridors, and structures discovered long ago, and most, if not all of them, are clearly related to the religious and funerary grants of the ancient Egyptians. So why all the fuss about this latest discovery? Why is this Egyptian scientific anger at what was stated in the scientific paper? Listen next. On March 15th, a joint Scottish-Italian research team led by Professor Malanga came out of the University of Pisa, and Professor Viaipo Biondi of the University of Stratford came out with a scientific paper during a press conference in which they announced the discovery of a huge underground city extending to more than 6,500 feet under the pyramids of Giza, starting with the Pyramid of Khafra. That is, it is larger than the pyramids themselves, at least 10 times. The study, conducted using a radar pulse device, revealed the presence of 8 vertical cylindrical structures or columns extending to a depth of approximately 2,100 feet below the pyramid, connected to cubic chambers measuring 80 by 80 meters, in addition to more unknown structures at a depth of 4,000 feet. The authors of the study confirmed that this discovery is pioneering and unprecedented and will change the face of ancient and modern history. As the paper came out to the public, sayings came out with it, linking it to legends, folk legacies, and religious stories. The same team linked it to the legendary Tate security halls famous in Egyptian mythology, halls that are supposed according to ancient pharaonic beliefs. During its journey towards eternal life in these halls, the soul is subjected to many tests and challenges before deciding its final fate between moving to the reed fields, that is, paradise, according to ancient Egyptian belief, or being devoured by the Deen of the legendary creature that combines the characteristics of a crocodile, a lion, and a hippopotamus. Halls in total represent part of Egyptian beliefs or ancient pharaonic mythology, and according to scientists, is a symbolic concept rather than a sensory one. There is no physical evidence of its existence to this day. But do you think it is the only strange hypothesis? Of course not. Take a deep breath and listen to the next debate. Well, an unknown and hidden city, huge pillars carved into the rock. Who do you think it will be? The next goal of theories and hypotheses. Yes, the mysterious and lost historical city of Iran. The same pillar, that mysterious city and its mysterious people, about whom there were many conversations and sayings, were cultivated between them and this city to be discovered. The huge columns that have been spoken of, the depth in which they have been dug, and their disappearance from the face of the earth all bear an almost identical face. Of course, this is according to those who believe in this hypothesis. And the entire topic, that is, the topic of throwing the same anchor that you find detailed in a previous episode of the story program, is still controversial and par excellence. And it is natural when news like this spreads about you in this city. Its people are on the horizon of the candidates, and here I will only say nothing scientifically confirmed. Rather, they are mere hypotheses, but allow your imagination to wander into the mysterious world of history. And believe me, there is no problem with that at all. Well, my friends, previous discoveries and excavations did not receive any significant objection from Egyptian scientists to the results of the discovery and research, but this paper sparked a wave of overwhelming criticism among Egyptian scientists among them. The Westerners agreed upon criticism, and the most prominent is that this paper was not published in any reliable scientific journal and was not even subjected to a careful review by independent experts known as the Bear Review. Rather, they are merely statements and leaks. During a press conference by Professor Lawrence Connors, a radar expert at the University of Denver, he told the Daily Mail that it is not scientifically possible for the sonar-like technology used in this discovery to penetrate this depth of the earth, and he cannot determine emphasizing that this technology has already captured these mysterious facilities below the pyramid, and therefore talking about an underground city, and at this depth, carries a lot of exaggeration and non-objectivity. The same vision was put forward by the Egyptian archaeologist and former Director General of the Giza Pyramids and Director of the Antiquities Museum at the Library of Alexandria, Dr. Hussein Abdel Basir. Dr. Hussein pointed out that geophysical technologies, such as ground-penetrating radar or seismic analysis, it can survey limited depths that do not exceed tens of meters. So what about approximately 1,000 meters? Describe the whole thing? For one of the science fiction films, especially since the team's leader and spokesman, Professor Crado Malanga, is a well-known researcher in the field of unidentified flying objects, that is, UFOs, meaning that the man is a believer in the subject of aliens, whose subject has previously been addressed in more than one strange program. Have you noticed the irony that most conspiracy theories are related in one way or another? Dr. Zahi Hawass, the famous Egyptologist and former Egyptian Minister of Antiquities, confirmed. The allegations are rejected in their entirety and are not based on any basis. My scientist Dr. Zahi confirmed in a statement that what is under the pyramid is nothing but a deaf rock according to what he discovered through excavations and excavations, considering that this paper is one of a series of conspiracies and misleading allegations to distort ancient Egyptian history. The pyramids are royal tombs and were built for funerary and worship purposes, not the interface of cities or otherwise. The team responsible for the research paper did not respond to criticism. They are simply waiting for permission from the Egyptian authorities to conduct research and excavation, in other words. The entire topic is based on a paper without tangible scientific evidence and without clear archaeological excavations. So, the topic will remain a subject of discussion until the excavations are held and the excavations begin. This is, of course, if it happens. But in your opinion, can you predict what awaits us in the near future? Will the curtain come out of a scientific fact? Historically shocking, or is it simply this file? Shut down. Answer me in the comments. I will wait for you, my friends, to come here, and I will conclude, even though the talk about the pyramids and the pharaohs is long and branching, as the pyramids themselves are one of the mysteries of the earth that has existed for thousands of years. Whenever a door is opened to reveal its mystery, another closed door appears, hiding behind it a great mystery. What is between who built it and how it was built? And why did you build it? The decision didn't come out of nowhere. The subject of the huge city is deep in the ground below the pyramids if mystery surrounds the pyramid structures. What if it's true in this city at this depth? And so literally, Egyptian scholars believe that the matter falls within conspiracy theories that aim to falsify the facts and history of the ancient Egyptians. In fact, the global and Western hegemony forces in particular often try and seek to falsify history for their benefit, especially that related to our region and history. We Arabs, and I think we see that today very clearly. Right? In conclusion, we can only wait and follow all the new releases on this topic, especially from concerned and scientists. And of course, we will keep you informed of any news. And until we meet in a new chat, keep my friends safe. Peace.